Alrighty, welcome back once again, YouTube, to the Blue Corner, where we're going to be taking a look at the Cardfight Vanguard Japanese format and seeing what's been going on since the release of the Kai Legend deck, as we've got 3 tournaments under the current format's belt, and the results are quite interesting. So, the first tournament I want to talk about is the Shikoku Cup. I think that's what it's called. There's 2 posts on this. By the way, this is on Pojo. People have been asking where I go for these things, but it's on Pojo. Anyway, so the Shikoku Cup happened, and it was won by 7Cs, actually. So Grand Blue won a tournament, and the 7Cs build in particular is starting to see a huge spike in play, so much that Night Rose is more or less now the unpopular choice for Grand Blue, which is quite saddening, but this will mean that hopefully the price of Night Rose based cards will go down because waifu tax. Seriously, it's insane how expensive that card is in Canada. But so 7Cs won. Nacio got second place, and Blaster Sanctuary Guard Dragon got third place. And the rest of the top cut I don't know about. Apparently there was more Nacio, more 7Cs. Like 7Cs and Nacio were the most played top cards in top cut, but that's because all the Kagero decks that got in the top 16 got matched up against 7Cs and Nacio, and those decks just kind of beat Kagero. I mean, 7Cs is obvious, and Nacio, the deck can just hit for ridiculous numbers, which control decks like Kagero have problems dealing with. So, rip Kagero for that one, but it's good to know they did make somewhat of a presence at that tournament. And the Kagero deck that did well was a list that I was not expecting to even see, and that is Novell Legend. So it wasn't Legend Great, Legend Cross, and thankfully it wasn't Legend Dauntless because that build's awful. There's a ton of reasons why that deck list is bad, and if you want to know them, go check out Team Nogard's 2 videos on why Novell and the Legend's awful, because I won't get into it here. But instead it was Novell and the Legend, which, looking at the typical list for the deck, it's pretty solid in concept, but we'll go to that in a bit. So let's first take a look at some of these lists. In particular, we'll start off with the 7Cs. Nope, that's not the 7Cs deck list. That is another list. Whoops. Spoiler alert. Alright, so let's take a look at the 7Cs list. Pretty typical 7Cs lineup, although instead of running the other 7Cs grade 3, he's running the third Plegiton, so you can get that superior break ride from Drop Zone. Makes them great for discarding for Frost Strides, PGs. Being able to break ride and then stride into other Night Mist allows you to call an entire board for 1 counterblast, which is kind of ridiculous. Actually, it's very ridiculous. And that entire board dies, so Kagero and Link Joker can't lock it. He's also running 3 of the Amber Clones for Grand Blue, which is unusual. I haven't seen any more than 1 of him in most lists. 3 Nightshade, 2 Slashshade, 2 Cannoneer. Grade 1 lineup is more or less what I would expect, and the triggered lineup is, I can't tell what they are. Like, you've got your 4 Rushies, Banshee. I'm going to assume that maybe these are 6 crit, and those look like, no, maybe they're, no, I think these are 8 crit, 1 stand, 3 draws, 4 heal. I think that's what it is. I really can't tell, just because of the angle these are at. And he's running Grenache as a starter though, which is a bit unusual. Most 7C's decks run the other one, Peter the Ghosty, but that's your winning list, and your second place list is Nacio, which looking at it, looks pretty standard. Not much else I can really say. Like, the deck is really strong defensively. Being able to just make it so that your opponent can't hit your Vanguard despite swinging at you for big numbers is pretty impressive. Although he is running only 4 grade 3s, so he's focusing entirely on the early game. And for the Blaster Sanctuary Guard Dragon, also a 4 grade 3 deck. Not really a whole lot I can say on this one. He just, again, focused on the early game. Now, this kind of list I don't think is going to take off here. North America generally likes its 8 grade 3s, sometimes 7. But we generally never do the 4 grade 3 things, because if you end up getting stuck for one turn or two, your opponent can and they will rush and try and kill you. We just have that no mercy mentality. So that was the Shikoku Cup, and then the next tournament we're going to take a look at is the Link Joker Cup. Not a whole lot is known, so we can't. It wasn't really confirmed if this team I'm going to take a look at was first place, but no one was able to deny it either, so we'll just run with it. So your first place team consists of Nacio, which I'm going to assume is pretty identical to the one we just looked at. 7 Seas, and this one is running. It's a similar list, although he's running the other starter, and he's running Max Ruin Shade, 3 Cannoneer Soldiers, and only 1 Slash Shade. The extra deck is not present, but I can tell you it's probably the same as the one before. Probably just minus 1 Ghosty King Obadiah, and instead he's running, I don't know, Blue Heart or anything really. So you have that. You have your Chaos Link Joker deck. And then for your second place team, it was Thavas, Liberators. Okay, this list is ridiculous. I mean, your grade 3 and your grade 2 lineup is alright, but then you notice this guy's running only 8 grade 1s, and that's because he's running not 1, but 6 starters. Jesus. I get that they're cards that enable Glare and Core to do their stuff, but holy just wow, 6 starters. I have no words. I'm speechless. Then you have 10 crit, 2 stands for heal, 6 starters. Jesus Christ. And third place for that team is Chaos. Glare is unreal, but it's your typical Chaos list. Then your third place team consists of Diablo. Now, what's interesting to note is that this is not running Vortimer. It's running your 4 Blaster Dark Diablo, and then 3 of another card from set 6 called Death Spray Dragon. We're going to take a look at him right now. And his effect is on Vanguard or Rearguard, Generation Break 1, choose one of your other rearguards and retire it. And counterblast 1. At the end of the battle, if he attacked the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, you choose up to one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. So, it's a fairly simple unit, but for what it does, it's pretty decent. So, gives you board control, helps set you up for Diablo a bit easier. You can just swing with it, they guard it, whatever, and it doesn't have to hit, so you kill another card, and on top of Blaster Dark Diablo's own retire skill, you get to kill 2 cards for basically 1 counterblast. It's a pretty solid card. What else do we have in here that's worth taking a look at? 7 grade 3s, but it's becoming the norm now. 1 Aura Geyser, 1 Doomed, 2 Spectral Blaster Diablo, probably just to flip the other cards up, or flip himself up, and then 4 the other Diablo. So, generally speaking, your lists are going to be 1 and 2 Spectral Blasters, and then 4 other Diablo, because Phantom Blaster Diablo is kind of ridiculous. And finally, we're going to take a look at the Novell deck. This is the only known Legend Novell list that we've seen thus far. And it's really hard to make out all the cards in it, but I have a fairly good guess of what the list is. So, for the Stride Zone, we've got 4 copies of Novell Express, which is your new finisher, and it's a very good one, turning off grade 1s. It's kind of ridiculous for a G unit. 2 of the Ace, and then 1 Vortex Desire and 1 Mustafa. Now, Desire and Mustafa are both generic G flips, so they can flip each other, and it really comes down to what you want. If you want the free but multiple retires, you use Vortex Desire. But if you need to get a guaranteed kill, i.e. your opponent has a grade 1 in play that has to die, then you go into Mustafa. Then we have 4 Novell. Now, for people who are more new to the game, Novell is a card that you may not be familiar with. Here's what he is. He's got 3 notable effects. No, he's got multiple effects, actually. His first effect is when he attacks, you can't guard with grade 0, so it's a Silent Tom on Vanguard. His Limit Break is Persona Blast, Counter Blast 2 or 3, and I think Soul Blast, but it's a Persona Blast, kill your opponent's board. When during a turn he attacks, any of your opponent's trigger checks are nullified. So if you hit a heal trigger and it's your 6th damage heal, it won't go off. And finally, he's a 13k base grade 4. So he's a behemoth of a card, and only one of his skills requires limit break. So it's rather infuriating to deal with. Backup grade 3 is 4 copies of the Legend, given that you have Conroe and your... Oh, he's not running on those. So you've got Conroe to search it out. You've also got the other grade 1, which we'll get to in a bit. This is Novell Critic Dragon, I think. His effect is when you place it on Vanguard or Rearguard, I think it's kind of +1, reveal 1 Novell bag, and kill your opponent's Rearguard. So it's a better Berserk Dragon for the deck, which is great as it gives you a means of countering Rush, and thus the early game. 4 Nahalem. Okay, I'm not sure if I particularly like Nahalem in the deck, but I guess that your goal game plan is going to be getting to the Legend first, and then Novell for later game, it's fine. Although once Endless Flare Dragon gets released, I think Nahalem might get dropped entirely. And finally, 3 copies of Berserk Flare Dragon because, again, board control is nice. The red ones, 3 Conroe. I'm going to assume those are 3 Lava Flow Dragons, your Strike Water, 3 Perfector Dragons, 3 of the other Novell. This guy's effect is when you place him on Rearguard, you can reveal a Novell Vague from your hand, add a grade 3 from your deck to your hand, and put Novell into your deck. So you have 7 on-call Search Overlord cards in your deck. So getting your grade 3 ride should not be difficult. And finally, you have your starter that goes into the soul to retire something after you retire something. And as for the trigs, he's running 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal, all of which are flame dragons to work with the Legends on-ride skill. And that's it for that one. So, okay, pretty good idea of how the format is for that one. Now, let's take a look at the second Aichi VGS. And the first place team is 7 Seas Diablo Chaos. Then the second place is Gears Nautiel Sanctuary Guard. Third place is 7 Seas Nautiel Chaos. And finally, fourth place is Chaos Nautiel Sanctuary Guard Barkle. And here's a quick thing to note. Thing Blaster was not present for 3 tournaments now. Or rather, no, I think it was present at this tournament. It's just that it didn't really get much for tops. But as far as Royal Paladins go, Sanctuary Guard variants are still the top dog. What does that say about this nonsense? Anyway, so let's take a look at these lists. Oh god, that's a pain in the ass. Give me a second here. I'm gonna put these on Paint, and then we'll take a look at them there. Alright, through the magical power of MS Paint, we've managed to get a much greater look at the Granblue deck list, and rather all of these lists, and this guy is making my OCD really angry. But we'll try and figure out what this list is. Side note, this is a crit trigger up there, so going back over this Granblue list, we can see that he's in fact running 6 crits. I think 6 crits. So at least we know what that is. But anyway, so let's take a look at this. So you have your 4 Phoenix, your Jimmy the Ghosty, 4 Heal, 4 Ruin Shade, 2 Slash Shade, 3 Cannoneer, 4 Break Rides, 3 Pledge 10s, 1 Stand Trigger. Oh, she's Banshee. No, there should be more of those. Yeah, there's a playset of Banshee, 4 Night Mist Strides, 1 Obadiah, 1 Blue Heart, 2 Night Rose, 4 Perfect RGs, 2 Night Runner, 4 Stride Enablers, 4 Ruin Shade, and 2 Slash Shade. Alright, we managed to make sense of that list. Yay! Moving over to the second place team, we have the Diablo deck. So pure Diablo is finally starting to take off, and Revengers are not, which is really odd because Revenger Raging Form Dragons got a ton of hype at the moment, but I guess. So the lineup is pretty close to what we saw already, if not identical. Let's take a look at that last Diablo deck though. Okay. Okay, it's a couple cards off, but it's pretty similar to this. Oops. That is another. That's the second place team. We'll get to that in a bit. Yeah, not much else I can really see on that one. So let's scoot over to the third place team, which is Chaos Messiah. The angle is really awkward, but it looks pretty damn close to the other lists. So we can just skip that. So now let's get to the second place list. So second place list has Gear Chronicle. Ooh, is that what I think it is? Why yes, that's Relic Master Dragon. A card that I have been a huge fan of in the deck for the last while, as being able to do stuff in early game. It's very powerful. So 4 next stage, 1 Metallica Phoenix, 1 Colossus. This Stride lineup is exactly the same as mine. His grade 3 lineup. Ooh, actually, what the heck kind of lineup is that? Oh god. So you have your 3 Balef, 2 Chronojet Dragon. Okay. And I don't know, I can't tell what this other grade 3 is from behind there. I believe, though, it is a common from G-Set 5. Oh lordy, I don't know what it is though. Let's see. 3 Calibum, in addition to your 3 Relic Master Dragons, means you have 6 cards that tuck things on grade 2. So you actually have a counter rush. You have your 2 Upstream Dragons and your 1 Lugal. And your 3 History Maker Dragons, 1 GG. 2 of the, when you time leap this guy, you give a unit 5k. 3 Malum, 3 Stride Enabler, 3 Perfect Guard Gs. And then for the trigs, it's running 1 stand trigger, 2 draw triggers, fourth. I don't know what this other trigger is. I've never seen. I don't see it often. And 8 crits. Okay, so it's got to be 2 stands. Like that's a weird ratio, but I can see why he's running like these guys. So that's the Gear Chronicle list, and then lastly we have Nostiel once more, and it's 4 grade 3 Nostiel. So they have dropped Gavriel entirely from the list. Alright, so that's it for that one. Now let's take a look at the third place team. Third place team consists of Chaos Messiah. Second, then we have more 7Cs. Yeah, so. And this is a more standardized 7Cs list, and we'll zoom in a bit closer. So this one's running. Okay, 8 crit, 4 stand, 4 heal. And otherwise, his ratios are pretty identical to the other list. Yeah, so looks like the general lineup now is 2 Slash Shade, 4 Rune Shade, 3 Cannoneer, and then X number of whatever. If you're running 7 grade 3s and you can run 3 Nega Rooks instead, you're running 4 Soul Blast 2 Jawbone Guy, which is great for setting up your drop zone. And the Stride Zone is, yeah, but like it's identical to the other 7Cs list. And then moving over here, we have Nostiel once again. And he's only running 4 grade 3s. So I think we are seeing a definite pattern here. Oh, he's running 2 copies of Poker though, which is the Cray Elemental that on call Soul Blasts 1 to unlock a card. That way you don't entirely lose the Link Joker. And finally our fourth place team. So first off we have 4 Nostiel Angel Feathers. And then we have Sanctuary Guard, just Sanctuary Guard, Blaster. And finally, Chaos. So that's it for that. Not a whole lot else I can say on that. As it is, the Vanguard's current format now would be Tier 1, you have Nostiel, Sanctuary Guard Blaster, or Sanctuary Guard Barkle, 7 Z's, and then rounding it out you have Chaos, and then the occasional, so that's Tier 1. Tier 1.5 would be Gear Chronicle and Diablo, and after that you would have the other decks, so you'd have Kagero, you would have, what are some other noteworthy decks that I can think of, like, unfortunately, Kagero is still having problems playing in this format just because everything else is either faster or Granblue is just extremely popular and they're kind of a problem for the deck. But we'll see what happens when Fighters Collection comes out, as it has the potential to shake up some things. Neo Nectar will get an amazing new G flip. Royal Paladins will get a really good G flip. What else can I think of? No, that's pretty much it. Like, until after, aside from that, we just kind of have to wait for set 7 to come out, and we'll see what it does. It'll make Blade Master better, obviously. New Gear Chronicle will be coming out. New Angel Feathers. Oh my god, the new Angel Feather support. What will it do to make Nociel already better? Like, it's just crazy. So yeah, that's the tournament scene in a nutshell. This video took a lot longer than usual, but that's because I had a lot of stuff to analyze here. Hope you all enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Blue Starter 9, jacking out.